Hello, people. I wanted to talk about somebody asked me that they want their child to speak. You want your child to speak. Your child is nonverbal. Your child is of age that they're supposed to be speaking, but they aren't speaking. Usually, we have a number of reasons why our children don't speak at the preferred time. Sometimes our children can speak late as they grow. Sometimes they may never speak at all in their life. And also they might listen and not able to communicate due to certain reasons that they incur that they might have had as they develop throughout their lifetime. Some of the reasons why your child doesn't talk is because of either it's because of the neurological issues. It could be because of delayed milestones. It could be because there is no good or better communication around the environment where the child is. So what you do or what you are advised to do first before you make assumption is to actually visit a speech language pathologist. When you visit a speech language pathologist, will guide you on the things to do. Some of the things that a speech language pathologist will do is to actually check the articulators. If all the articulators are right and they are rightly placed, and if the articulators are rightly placed, that is your lips, your tongue, you have no cleft palate, you have no cleft lip, and your uvula is in order, your vocal fold is also in order. These are some of the things that the speech language pathologist is going to check. The SLP is going to also advise you to go and visit an audiography, who is going to check your auditory, if at all your hearing is okay. So when you go through all these things, and sometimes the results come out that the child is having auditory issues, that is, they're not able to listen. That is, if, let me give you an example. When you're speaking, there are certain sounds that the child is not able to capture due to the audiological issues, okay? And then there could also be a problem in the articulators, whereby the child is able to listen, but they're not able to speak due to certain conditions that come as a result of maybe rearrangement of the articulators, like the cleft palates, cleft lips, the vocal folds are having a problem, or the breathing system is also not okay. These are some of the things that could lead for a child not to be able to speak. In other ways, the child articulators are in order, the auditory is also okay. Sometimes we also need to take our children for therapy to help them to overcome certain issues. So even as you visit a speech language pathologist, you also need to visit an occupational therapy to help in things to do with like vestibular will actually help in stabilizing the child in things to do with balancing, which also comes in as a result of the auditory dysfunction. That could also help the vestibular function, could also help the child in speaking. So there are children that all these things are okay, but they are not speaking. They listen and understand, they even follow instructions, and they're not able to talk. Most of the time, speech language pathologist will advise you to wait on the child because the child is actually okay. This particular child is active, can indulge in plays and play with the other kids. It means that they listen so well. So oftentimes the speech language pathologist advises you that you wait on the child and the child will just speak. And in most cases, your child speaks late. And this explains that when your child was supposed to speak maybe at the age of 3 and your child speaks at the age of 5, and the child has actually been examined and every other thing is okay, it means that this particular child was in a listening stage for a very long time. And it is okay that some children take a lot of time in this stage. When you're looking at the language acquisition, when a child starts to develop a language, usually they start developing a language when they are in the stomach to when they are born. And that is why it is advisable for you as a parent, a caregiver, or any other person to normalize talking to the child so that they listen in and talk at the right stage. So just like some children crawl and others don't crawl, they just walk directly without even, they skip that stage of crawling. It is the same as a child who takes a lot of time listening, and finally when they start talking, they will just talk fluently without any problem. It means that this particular child has taken a lot of time in pre-listening stage. When you're looking at the language acquisition, it has stages, and one of the stages is the listening stage. Then we have the one word, we have the second word, then we have fluency. So the child, in the language acquisition, the child spends a lot of time really listening in this stage. And in the listening stage, they take so much time listening, and then you go to the one word. They will actually speak the one word, the two word, and just go to the fluency. So this is what happens even when your child doesn't just crawl and then finally walks. So it also happens when it comes to speech and the to speech. Your child will come from listening to actually speaking fluently. So when you visit a speech language pathologist and they told you that your child is okay, all you need to do is to wait. You need to wait and be patient, and what you need to do is actually continue talking to this child. And in cases where your child does not talk at all, you are actually advised now to go and visit to go and visit someone who knows sign language so that you start teaching your child sign language. And this is very important for you as a caregiver, for you as a mother to this particular child, that both of you need to learn sign language so that you are able to communicate to this child. When you're learning sign language, this particular, it is also a language on itself, but it is a silent language. So it is important for this child to actually learn the sign language so that they are able to express whatever they want, their feelings and every other thing. So that is basically what I wanted to tell you about children that are nonverbal and children that they don't speak. And in cases where your child never speak, it's because maybe some of them have got very weak vocal folds, and when they have weak vocal folds, it is one of the articulators that actually control the sound, the sound that comes from your trachea, and even the breathing system that enables this sound to actually come out. So when the vocal fold is weak, it means that this particular child will not be able to communicate as fluent as possible. So in most cases, therapy helps, and in other cases, might not be able to help. So in this particular case, a parent or a caregiver is also advised to actually take this child to a person who understands the sign language to actually teach them so that they can incorporate these things with their speech. And that is just life, and these are some of the things that happen to them. So if you know that your child is not speaking, your child is nonverbal, they might talk, and in most other cases they might not be able to talk due to the inclined conditions that they have in their system. So this is all I wanted to share. I hope you learned something, and if you did, I am grateful that you listened to this, and I hope it helps you. So if you have any question, just DM me and I'll respond. Thank you and have a lovely day. Otherwise, let's take this chance to continue mourning our hero Raila Omolo Odinga. Ciao.